So hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Rasta, should we flip places? Well, it's whatever, right? Should I turn my camera on now? Oh, I need to put my background. Oh. This one. No, I need to. Is it this one?
It's the New Year one I can't find. Hold on one second.
I'm trying to find the green screen. Why doesn't this one ever show properly for me? Is it this one? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, hello everyone. How is everyone doing today? Today we will have Mr. Luis Davila from Florida, District 48, part of Polk County. We will be asking him his questions. He is currently running for the Progressive Democratic candidate for Florida House of Representatives in District 48 for these 2026 general election. And he has a very interesting story. He's actually kind of a cool guy, a young guy. Describes himself as a dedicated advocate for equity, opportunity, and community well-being. He's very family-oriented. He believes in term limits. He has signed the U.S. Term Limits Pledge. So I am very excited to get to know him today. Rasta's getting ready for us. Hopefully today it will be a great live. Happy New Year for everyone. I know, can we still say Happy New Year? It is the 9th, but I'm going to continue to say Happy New Year because it's still Happy New Year for me. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday season. Mine was very unproductive. Well, I shouldn't say that. We did hang out a little bit with a few friends and family, but definitely was a quiet one for sure this year. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello. Rasta, you there?
Yes, baby, I'm here. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Hey, Ayana, how are you? How are you guys doing today? Alrighty, so I'm excited. Mr. Luis Davila. Let's see, is he in the chat? Not quite yet. So hopefully we can get him in here soon. You guys go ahead and tap the live. Make sure that you are sharing it out to everyone you know, all your friends. Hello, Mr. Beautiful Rasta. You're on mute, baby. You're on mute.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. How are you doing? Happy New Year. I know we haven't spoken too much.
Happy New Year to you too, loving.
How was your New Year?
Baby, I was in the house of the Lord, okay?
That's good. That's good. Did you work a lot? You had a lot of work?
I did. You know, during the holidays, that's the busiest season ever. So I worked, baby. I
I'm
worked.
very excited today. I'm actually really excited because his family's Puerto Rican, and you guys know I have a love for my Puerto Rican island. So
you have a love for roast con pollo.
I love arroz con pollo.
Yeah,
Well, we have similar Caribbean foods, don't we?
yeah, we do. Hi, Jazz.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come up.
You didn't want to come see me, baby.
Y'all doing good.
All right.
Sorry. Thank you. All right. She don't want to come hang out with us, I guess.
Look, clearly, honey.
So
Clearly.
welcome everyone. We are just here waiting for Mr. Luis Davila to come join us. I'm excited. I haven't run one of these in a long time.
Baby.
It's been a while. Hopefully it's like riding a bike.
Truth be told. Okay.
She fixed the layout. Yay. Ronald's always looking good.
Yeah, I'll be
Got
trying to do a little one too. If
Today's one of those I don't want to brush my hair kind of days. Let me just put it all up today. It's Friday. It's Friday.
so, I'm excited. You know, I haven't did this one in a while either.
I know,
Now
and
you,
it's getting real. Have you noticed we have town halls every day, some 2 days a day, two a day. I'm getting all tangled. Two a day. Every day we've been having town halls. Man, it's getting busy. It's getting busy for all of us.
yes. And say his last name for me so I can say it correctly.
Davila.
Da, Davila.
Davila.
Where's the B at, honey?
It's V, but you don't say
I
yeah,
know. I know, honey. I just see
Davila. Oh,
Davila.
Davila. That's a hard
Davila.
one. That's a hard one because mine you can kind of, enter it. You can kind of put an English twang to it, but Davila is a hard one.
Yes, yes.
All righty, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you are sharing the live. Please make sure that you let everybody know where you're at. Tell them you're here with us. We are just waiting for Mr. Davila to join us. So if you guys have any questions, we'll go over how it works. We will close the rooms. We ask that if you do come up here, remember to use TikTok friendly language and come up and ask questions. So make sure that you are, asking questions in the chat. Come up and ask us questions. I'm sure the representative will love to hear what your concerns are. And it doesn't matter that you live in Florida or not. He wants to know what everyone wants to think, I'm sure. I'm sure he likes ideas. If you have recommendations, we always know that many of our candidates do love that. But yes, as soon as he gets here, we should be getting started. Hey, Miss Joni. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Yes, yes. Retweet this out. Tell a friend to tell a friend that all roads leads to our vote counts tonight. It is Friday night. You ain't got nowhere to be but to come and listen to this new candidate from District 48 in Florida. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We just got a goal. Please send out your rose. Help with the heart me's. Tap, tap, tap that screen. And it's Friday night. Grab you a glass of wine, people in the audience. Grab you something.
A whiskey. Or if you don't drink, just a sparkling Sprite.
But most of all, tap that screen. Hello.
Please make sure you are tapping. Actually, I'm going to tap. Let's see if I can tap also. All righty, there we go. Do we have any news from our candidate? Well, as the room fills, please make sure to tap that screen. Like Rasta said, share it out. The more people we can get in here, the more people we can get out to vote. Remember, that is why we do this every day. We do want to make sure that we all understand the importance of voting, right, Rasta? How important it is to always vote and let your voices be heard.
Especially with all that is going on in today's world. We have to go
Yes.
out and vote, especially if we want to change.
Most definitely. We definitely live in a very chaotic state right now. So the country is in chaos. So a little order would be great. All right. Well, we have a great group. I guess we're waiting for there's a poll at the top, guys. If you guys see that poll, go ahead and fill it out. What is our poll? Our poll is who's going to win the midterms? Who thinks Democrats are going to win and who thinks Republicans are going to win? What's your vote? Who is going to win the midterms? Is it going to be the Democrats or is it going to be the Republicans? What is your I am sorry. I think my printer just started and it scared me. Like, really? I was like, what is happening? But I didn't know my son was home, so I'm guessing my son is printing, and all of a sudden my printer started printing. I was like, I didn't print anything.
You don't have to be sorry about it.
All righty. So, all right. Do we have Mr. Davila in the room yet? Not quite yet. I do not see him. Hopefully he will be in here soon. But as we go, what are y'all predictions for 2026? I want to hear who are you guys supporting in your area? Have you found out who your representatives are? Do you know who your senators are? Heck, do you know who your local leaders are? If you have kids in school, do you know who their superintendent is? Hopefully you guys do get involved in local voting also, because in my opinion, it's one of the most important. It is the ones that are actually the ones that affect us the most. Risa says, I'm in Ohio, and you're hoping that Ramaswamy gets washed. Yeah, that might be something. We got another Ohio girl in the building too, so I'm sure she agrees that we don't need Ramaswamy. But welcome as you guys join the live. Please make sure to tap that live to get us out to the For You page and get some more people in here so that they can find out what Mr. Luis Davila is all about. Hopefully he didn't forget us about today. So we are just waiting for Mr. Davila to get into the room. But I would like to hear what y'all's predictions are for 2026. Who are you guys backing in your city, in your state? Who are you guys looking forward to voting for? I live in the beautiful state of Texas, so y'all know I'm kind of conflicted a little bit, but I think Jasmine has my vote. Well, I don't know. Yeah, no, I think Jasmine has my vote. I think she's a little bit stronger voice. Although I can never pronounce his last name. What's his last name?
Don't forget the poll. We have 15 people on here and only one person did the poll. Go ahead and do the poll. Do the poll for us, please. I want to see where you are at right now. If the elections were today, who will win? Please answer that poll for me. I'm going to reframe the question. If the election was today, who would win the election? Democrats or Republicans?
I say Democrats. What do you say, Rasta?
Baby, it's only one choice at this point.
Right?
Democrat.
That's such a mess that I do believe it would definitely be Democrats. Tallarico, what's his name? Yes. Can they both win?
Is there another seat? Is there another seat
I
up?
don't remember. Are both seats up?
I believe. Okay, this is the general for who will represent the Democratic ticket. So I don't think both of them can win.
Yeah, it was
Unless,
just primary, right?
yeah, the primary. So I don't think both of them can win. Not unless there's a next seat up. So which means to tell me only one seat is currently open or in play. Let's see. Texas.
I've been so out of the loop this year. I'm kind of behind. I haven't been paying attention very well.
Maybe I can only pay attention to my two senators, and right now they're on the ticket to win. And I have Ossoff and Warnock, and we're trying to get Ossoff where he needs to be.
Right. I agree. Alrighty, there is a new poll, guys. New poll. Did you send your heart meat? You guys, we need 17 heart meats. We've only got 4. Go ahead and send that heart meat. It is one single coin. There's only one, yeah, there's only one Senate seat up. So it's kind of hard. Crockett and they're both amazing. I think they're both incredibly intelligent. I think they're both very powerful words here in the state of Texas. But yeah, that's I think I'm gonna go for a girl. Just because she's a girl. No, I'm just kidding.
We should all have known that Cruz was not getting up his seat, honey. He feels like he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
we are in the waiting for this lovely candidate, how about we check out to see how many Senate seats is available, and how many in Florida,
Actually a good idea.
so that we can discuss it and see how many people is running.
Name recognition is going to be the factor in the Dem primary. Yeah.
But you have to keep in mind too, Jazz, that the one that's going against Jasmine is making a name for himself. And then I hate to say it, but he is how can I say this? Making himself familiar with the race that he has. You know what I'm saying? That predominantly, remember, if I, as much as I love Jasmine, I know that she can be in play for this seat based on just past practices these United States. Black women are not usually tend to win seats of such power.
Yep. I was gonna agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As much as I would love to see her win, and if I had the opportunity to vote in Texas, I would be definitely. It's just that I put myself up in a place where, and you can probably agree with me, Jazz, where I wanted Hillary to win, and then I wanted, you know, what's my girl name, Kamala, to win, and VP Kamala I wanted her to win, but people spoke louder, and I can only. They should tell me, show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see. Has Mr. Davila came in? No, not yet. Well, we are just waiting for Mr. Davila. Hopefully he will be here soon.
Alone in a room. It's just. Can you believe this? In the state of Florida, Alice, there is 2 seats available.
That's it?
In Florida.
Wow.
So both seats.
Oh, because he was saying typically only one seat, but look, Florida
But it
is
looks like
both
Florida
seats.
has. Hold on, let me double check, honey.
All right, so poll question, guys. Poll question. Who should decide how government money is spent? Should it be the Congress or the president? I hope you all have read your Constitution. Oh, Rubio's seat is open. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Rubio's seat is open, and then they have another seat that is open, I guess. So we have an opportunity to pick up 2 seats.
That's very cool. Well, with what happened in Miami, I can definitely say that there has been a very strange shift in political ideology in Florida without saying.
But also on the just playing devil's advocate, the thing that the president did this over the past 2 weeks has has influenced or even encouraged some of the Venezuelan American Venezuelans that he's doing a good thing. So
Yeah.
you never know. You never know. Hi, Amanda. Thank you so much, love.
Hi, everyone. Welcome as you are coming in. Let's see. Is Mr. Davila in quite yet? We don't quite have him. Maybe we are having technical difficulties. Hey, Amanda. Well, we are just waiting. You guys, there is a poll at the top. And remember to click the heart me goal at the very top. You do have a little happy heart. And our poll, what does our poll say? If the government had to cut spending, where should the money come from first? Should it be military or defense or education and schools? Which one do you guys think? Should we cut military funds or should we cut education funds? I think that's an easy one. That is definitely an easy one. You guys remember to tap the live, share it out so that we can have more people join us tonight as we are going to meet with the representative of District 48, Luis Davila. We are trying to see if we can get in touch with him. We might be having technical difficulties, but if not, if anyone wants to come up and ask any questions, if you guys want to share your opinions, I want to hear who you are backing in this 2026. Okay, our vote counts. I want to see who you are backing and supporting in this 2026. Are you guys joining your candidates? Are you guys donating? Are you guys participating and volunteering? Is the cold calling still a thing? I think that back in the day, it was such a big thing, and it seems that it's something that is coming back, right? 5.
5 is a mess. That's why I automatically start laughing because of 5 is a mess.
Well, RFK might give you that. You never know, 5. You might be getting that soon. Alrighty, so it seems that our candidate has not come in. We haven't been able to get in touch with him, which is okay. We'll hang out for a little while longer, but definitely I want to hear you guys' opinion. I don't see you guys chatting with me in the chat or tapping up. I want to hear, who are you voting for? Who are you backing in this 2026 election? I want to know, what do you want from your candidates? What questions do you want answered from your candidates? Give us some of your personal information. And also remember, I'm having my 3rd girl, but this HHS is terrible. Well, congratulations on your 3rd girl. What is HHS? 5, are we being silly? But yes, most definitely. I don't want people to have to sue Donald Trump every day to enforce our rights. I agree. I don't think that should be a priority for us at all. But yeah.
So, just you want to go over the district that Luis is running for?
Yeah, go ahead. We can do that. Yeah.
So, the State House is he's running for State House 48, which is 48 with 120 state legislators. Of course, it's parts of Polk County. The district covers anywhere from Winter Haven, Haines City, and nearby districts. The current representative is a Republican Party, which is named John Albert, which He's a business owner, this, that, and the third. He won in November 2024, and the seat is already up. The demographics of this particular area, let's see here. The population is about 170,
Okay.
170,526. The medium, it looks like it's anywhere from, let's see about the, I want to see if there's any low income areas in here. Give me 1 second, close.
It does say, so I pulled up 100 facts about the district, and it's actually pretty cool. It does say that most resident works in tourism and hospitality. Oh, are they they're Disney? I don't think Disney is in their district, but I think they're pretty close to it. So I'm guessing maybe it seems that theme park industry close by is a major employment sector.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. That's very cool.
When's the last time, you know, when's the last time Democrat held this seat?
I don't know. We can find out. It's red now.
Mm-hmm.
Last. Let's see.
Something like that.
Seems that the current one is he's very red. 2016 to 2022, it was Daisy Morales. She was a Democrat, and she ended up being redistricted. So she did get redistricted. And then Amy Mercado before her was also a Democrat in 2016. Okay, she was redistricted in 2022 to another district and thus did not continue to represent 48. Roger Wilson was a Republican from 1968 to 1972. But wait, what's in between? Who did in between?
The average median income of this district is 63,000.
Yep. Now, here's something interesting. There is no 48 representative between 1982 and 2012. I want to find out why.
Well, as you're finding out why, I'll just go over the candidate if you don't mind. Do you mind that?
Go ahead. No, go ahead, of course.
Louise is a progressive candidate running for the Florida House of Representatives. That means in-state, for the people that's listening. In District 48, in the 2026 general election, he is campaigning to bring a bold, people-centered leadership to Tallahassee and to address that everyday challenges facing residents in his community. Louise describes himself as a dedicated advocator for equality, opportunity, and community well-being, as well as progressive candidates. He emphasizes on listening to his constituents, and prioritizes on policies that support economic fairness, access to quality health care, strong public service, and a safe, vibrant neighborhoods. During his campaign, Lewis has signed the U.S. term limits pledge, committed to support efforts through Article 5 conventions that would impose congressional terms if he were elected to the state office, demonstrating his focus on accountability and limiting entrenched political power.
There we go.
I am so sorry for everybody watching. I apologize. I'm just trying to put myself together.
That's okay. Well,
Don't be sorry, mister. Be careful. How you doing?
Let me change here my background. Give me 1 second.
Sounds good. Thank you. Well, Mr. Luis Davila is here. So we're just reading some facts about your district, which I thought it was
Yes.
kind of strange that there was no representation between 82 and 2012. And it seems that it was actually redistricted again and recreated in 2012. And that's why there's no District 48, which I thought that was really interesting.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to change my background.
Okay, so you're gonna go to your camera, open your camera up, and
Okay.
then you're gonna, when you scroll, it'll tell you that you can put, so go back to your camera. Go back to your camera, and then it'll have like effects. Wait, let me see if I remember how to do it. All right, so you'll click on your camera, and then on the bottom, it'll have effects. You can scroll over and find the one that's gonna be the green screens. If you click up, it'll show you the green, and you can scroll over to the one that's a green screen, and you're gonna put, it's the first one that has the little picture with the little arrow going down.
Okay, it's downloading. It's doing its thing. Again, I am so sorry. My daughter had an emergency I had to take care of.
You're okay, you're okay.
Okay, I got the green screen up.
Yeah, and then you're gonna choose a picture. There you go. Good job.
Okay, I figured it out.
We got you. Alrighty, so
Okay, thank you for having me. I appreciate
of
it.
course, yeah. So we started a little late. That's okay. We're gonna kind of go into it. So let me introduce myself. My name is Alice. I am here with OVC, and then here is my co-moderator, my beautiful Mr. Ronald. And we will be asking you a bunch of questions today. So let me tell you a little bit about us. Our Vote Counts is a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand with integrity, inclusion, accountability for upcoming elections. So formed by a bunch of collective educators, veterans, small business owners, students, and community advocates, Our Vote Counts represents the strength of unity across geography, race, ideology, and heck, I want to throw in culture in there too. So while our stories are different, our mission is the same, to ensure that every voice is heard and every vote truly counts. So through our voter education, candidate outreach, and community engagement, we do support leaders who are ready to serve the people, like Mr. Davila, who not special interests. By working across state lines and elevating local and national issues, we aim to increase voter turnout, inform public dialogue, and build momentum for lasting change. Our Vote Counts is more than just a name. It's a promise of movement and a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future, one informed voter at a time. We don't always go about our mission statement, but I did want to read it because we kind of forget sometimes, and that is the reason why we are here. So welcome, Mr. Davila. As we get in, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was born in New York. I grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's pretty much where my roots are. Went to public school in Springfield. I worked throughout the beginning of my career, which is, I have a background in manufacturing, which is mostly what my career consists of. In the Western Massachusetts area. I've always been very interested and involved in politics from a voter perspective. But as the years went on, as I got older, I got more interested in learning how things work, learning how our government works, why things are the way they are. So I always ask the questions. I never got involved at this level because work, family, kids, and things that needed to be taken care of at home. But I moved to Florida about 5 years ago, and I knew the political arena here, but I wanted to be closer to my parents that live about 20 minutes away from me. And I see things, how they've gone. We got 2024, and I was fed up, to be completely honest. Right. And I'm like, you know what? If nobody else is going to put their name in the hat in my county, in my district, I'm going to go ahead and do it because I know I have the people's best intentions at heart.
Sounds great. Okay, so thank you for that. So first icebreaker. Oh, wait, we should go over the rules just a little bit. We are going to ask you a series of questions. We do want you to answer the best way possible. Remember, we try to use TikTok language, so things like ABs, if we do want to mention, or smugs, or pew pews. I know it's kind of funny, but we do ask that for purposes of the live, that we try to stick with friendly. After every set of questions, we're going to ask somebody to come up if anybody in the chat has any questions, so that we can have the chat kind of interact with us. Okay, so I've got a first icebreaker question. So I did read somewhere that your parents are Puerto Ricans, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I myself lived in Puerto Rico for 2 years. I lived on the south part. So I did see that on your site, you do have a direct link to the Discover Puerto Rico website. So just out of curiosity, will you tell us where your favorite place in Puerto Rico is?
My favorite place in Puerto Rico is Cabo Rojo. On the west side of the island, they have a beautiful beach. And I lived in Puerto Rico for a couple of years with my parents as well. And we spent a lot of time there. They're from Guayama, the town of Guayama, which is about 30, maybe 45 minutes from Ponce.
From Ponce. I lived in Jauco. I lived 2 years in Jauco, so down the street, literally. All righty. So yes. Our first set of questions are going to be about economic development. As you know, District 48 has struggling rising rent, which I know that you are big on. Insurance, groceries, while wages do continue to stay the same. What do you think how would you help to raise incomes and lower everyday costs? And what does economic growth look like to you in your district?
I think we have to attract more manufacturing here in Polk County. I'm of the mindset, where I grew up, it's very heavy. There was a lot of heavy manufacturing presence, and with that always came about good paying jobs. So I'm very interested, and I'm invested in working even across the aisle in making sure we get manufacturing jobs here to Polk County, as well as trying to also help in the battle against the demonization that we have against collective bargaining, which has been pretty much destroyed here in Florida. And I worked for a Kleberg sheet metal back home in Massachusetts, and it was a union shop, and everyone got paid very well even to this day. And just here in Florida, the collective bargaining issue is something I plan to attack, as well as attracting those manufacturing jobs, working with different organizations that have those connections to investors that want to invest in Polk County at that capacity.
That's awesome. And that actually drives me to my next question. So there are young adults in the district that are often leaving the district because there is not enough opportunities for job. And I see that is one of your ways that might solve that. Job creation, training, new industries that young people can build careers. Do you think that manufacturing is something that young people can go into?
Oh, yes, wholeheartedly. I do believe, especially for a lot of college kids that are getting into debt and not finding jobs, or not finding jobs that pay them for the amount of years and money that they spent on school. So I think job training, investing in the areas where students can go get a trade, become a plumber, become an electrician, a sheet metal worker, which has a plethora of benefits. And I think attracting companies like that here to our area would be extremely beneficial for those young kids that are just looking for a way to take care of themselves if they have families. I think it's extremely important that we start looking at that instead of building more homes.
So that was my next question. Load into the next question. So all these new developments that are in the area, as you know, they're kind of pushing longtime residents out of their neighborhoods. This whole gentrification kind of thing that's happening in District 48. How would you make sure that those families are also protected?
Yeah, so I know the real estate lobby is not going to like me. So my plan for that is to limit the building by way of presenting legislation that would increase. It's a little radical, but I've been leaning into that these days. Would be presenting legislation that would increase impact fees statewide. I know it varies by county, but I'm of the mindset that they need to increase those impact fees statewide, and that would limit the building. Also incentivizing builders that are building affordable homes. Instead of buying huge plots of land, they can buy plots of land within communities that can be built.
All righty. So I actually really like that idea. That's actually really good. So if there's somebody in the audience, we'll give them a minute or so that they can come up and ask any questions. If there's nobody, that's okay. We can move on and continue. I know people sometimes kind of shy. They're like, I'm not going to ask anything.
I actually do have a follow-up question for him. Hi, I'm Ronald. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ronald.
Good. So I am Alice's little co-moderator here tonight. So I heard you say more manufacturing. And we're hearing this often, and especially in this current administration, in regards to more manufacturing. So my question is to you: do you support the actions of the president to try to, quote unquote, to attract more manufacturing in the United States?
No, I do not. I know with the tariffs it's a big thing where the idea behind the tariffs is to entice investors and people who are job creators here to make their products here, but we're not seeing that. The way I would go about it is offering people who want to actually invest in our communities and create these jobs, offering them tax benefits to a certain degree, and also as well as healthcare benefits. But with the taxing or with the tariffs, I'm not on board with that. It's just a tax on the consumer, and it raises prices, and I think we're going to see a higher inflation rate by the end of the year.
Okay, and then my second follow-up to the manufacturing, I did hear you say in regards to more of collective bargaining, which is a key word of basically unionizing the workforce within the state of Florida. Do you feel like if you had to pick the two, do you think the collective bargaining or actually being utilized in the workforce will be beneficial, or the manufacturing part, if you had to choose between the two?
If I had to choose between the two, I would say collective bargaining, just because it gives the power back to the worker.
Okay.
I heard this. I was in a union for a while. I mentioned it earlier. Back home in Massachusetts, I was in the sheet metal union, and I would always get flack from other contractors who weren't, or workers at other contractors who weren't unionized. Oh, you just got golden handcuffs, is what they call them. But that's not what my paycheck was telling me on a weekly basis. And we were well taken care of. We had great benefits, 401k, working conditions. I would say collective bargaining is gonna be at the forefront. One of the things I'm at the forefront of the plans that I have for the State House.
Great. So it is my turn to ask you some questions, especially about healthcare and Williams Health. I did hear that you said with the collective bargaining and be able to have it unionized gives families the benefit of getting actually medical insurance and things of that nature. So with that being said, the healthcare bills and prescription costs keep going up and rising for us as working family. What actions would you take to make care and medication more affordable in the state of Florida?
Yeah, I would be on board with anyone who is gonna promote legislation. I know we just in the House, we just extended the ACA benefits, but also specifically here in Florida, I want to expand Medicaid. Right now, Florida is one of 10 states that chooses not to expand Medicaid, and we're leaving billions of dollars on the table that can be coming here to our state, supporting these working families. I know a lot of people like to complain and say people who don't work get all these benefits. That's just simply not the truth. The statistics don't tell us that at all, and I would be on board in the House and the state Senate here to make sure that we expand Medicaid.
Now, for those who do not understand the difference between the Medicaid and Medicare, could you please explain for them, if you can?
Yeah, Medicaid is administered by the state, by the states. Medicare is Part A, Part B is a federal program. Usually, I know my parents, they're a little bit older, they get Medicare, but it's administered through the federal government. Oh, the lights went out here. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see it. Being that
Okay, the light in this. I apologize.
no, we can see it, but it'll be better with the light. Um, being that healthcare costs is going down. The family, you'll see families under anxiety, depression, and stress, especially living in times today. Among kids and caregivers, how would you expand medical health services in your district?
Yeah, by just can you can you kind of cut up there at the end? I heard health, but can you repeat the question?
Families are seeing more anxiety, depression, and stress, especially among kids and caregivers. How would you expand mental health services in your district?
Yes, I would. The way I would go about that is, of course, presenting legislation that brings more dollars to our county, to our district, that helps in these mental health and expands these services, working with different organizations and even doctors who are at the forefront of knowing that how important this is and knowing that mental health and care for kids is at the root of a lot of the issues that we have. So I would definitely um, advocate for making sure we get those appropriations to Polk County for these services instead of making more homes or giving billionaire real estate developer tax breaks.
And just one more question. Many residents in your district struggle with affording affordable doctors or face long time waits. What would you do to improve health access to the healthcare locally? And I do mean within whatever you think that can help, from telehealth to more urgent care facilities and things of that nature. What would you do to improve it in your local facility?
Yeah, I love that you bring up telehealth. I think it's something that's extremely beneficial right now. I know one idea that I have is making sure that all of our public schools have access in my district that have access to telehealth, because it's an extremely beneficial tool for students who are also facing these dilemmas, whether it's health or mental health or stress or even bullying. Telehealth is something that I definitely would want to bring dollars here in our county for, as well as working with community leaders in how we can open more community free clinics. It's possible. We have a free clinic in Lake Alfred, which is a part of my district, Lake Wales, and they help a lot of struggling families that can't afford to go to a doctor, can't afford to get a teeth cleaning, and I think is unacceptable. We need these services because these services help our constituents. At the end of the day, a representative is supposed to be representing constituents, not billionaire donors and special interest groups. Literally, the people. That's what it's all about.
Do we have anybody in the chat that would love to come and ask Mr. Louise some questions in regards to District 48 or even the state of Florida? Anybody, don't be afraid. He doesn't bite. I don't.
Because if I don't have an answer, I will get the answer.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm very open and transparent. I'm not an expert on all on all topics. I know enough. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm letting for the noise to go by. I know enough. I have lived experience, with my family, the household that I grew up in, my parents struggling. I know it may sound like I'm just virtue signaling, but I think we need representatives that actually care about people and put people before profits.
So we have Riza here who has come up to ask the question. Riza, go ahead.
Hi, thank you
Hello.
for giving us your time today. And I want to thank again Our Vote Counts for all the work that you guys do. This is really great. And this is really important to me. I reside in Ohio, but I see that you are running for the House of Representatives. So I do have a question. What are your thoughts on regulations for AI and regulations for the environment regarding AI?
To be completely honest, with regulations for AI, that's one topic I'm not exactly well versed on, but I do believe AI does need regulation just because I'm worried that it will be taking jobs in the future. Um, that's something that I am extremely worried about. As far as getting more deep in the roots of that topic, I would have to discuss with other colleagues on how we would go about that and how it would affect our future generations. But as far as the future, I am worried about AI taking jobs, and they need to be regulated. What was the other part of your question, Lisa?
It was about AI and this is more specifically related to the data centers, and the environment, because I don't know if you know this, but for like, I think like every AI search, it takes up 3 gallons of water, and it has to be fresh water.
Yes, actually, I love that you bring that up because there is a planned data center right in Lake Wales in my district. So I love that you bring that up. And I know about the water consumption. Lake Wales right now is facing a water shortage. So I would be wholeheartedly against that data center even being built. I know they're talking about jobs and job creation, but there's other ways we can get there. I think, again, going back to manufacturing, I think is our best bet in creating jobs for our people here in Polk County. Like that, they don't have to travel to Orlando and Tampa and go get on I-4. I work in Tampa and it's just a mess. But I love that you bring up the data centers. I am wholeheartedly against it, and it definitely needs to be regulated, especially when it comes to water consumption. And we have here in Florida, it barely rains, when it's dry, it's dry. When it rains, it rains pretty good, but when it's dry, it's dry. And Lake Wales is actually facing a water shortage, and that's where they want to build the data center. And I'm an advocate for a clean environment and against toxic waste. I don't know if that's. I'm pretty sure that's something that comes with an AI data center. So I'd be wholeheartedly against that.
Okay, thank you. And I just have one last question. I promise this is it. What
No,
are
it's
your
okay.
thoughts on reparations for African Americans who are descendants of chattel slavery and Jim Crow?
Yeah, I do believe that Black Americans do deserve reparations. Um, it's gotten to a point where I know that that topic can be very decisive, but I am 100%, 1,000,000% on board with Black Americans getting reparations, considering the horrific history that's gone on in this country, and I feel like it's owed to Black Americans.
Thank you so much. Those are the only questions that I have, and good luck, and hopefully I'll see you on here again. I'm like totally locked in, so thank you so much.
And I just want to apologize for being late.
No, you're good. You're good. We'll catch up. Thank you, Risa. Thank you for joining us. Now, Rasta has a rapid fire questions that he's going to ask, kind of to break the ice just a little bit. Rasta, it's your turn.
Yeah. All right. These are little fun ones, okay?
I gotcha.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay.
Puerto Rican.
I was going to say, he better not answer tea. He's going to get dropped down if he answers tea.
I'm ready for the next one.
Early morning meetings or late meetings?
I like early morning meetings, to be honest. That I usually have them at work. We get them out of the way pretty quick, and yeah, I prefer the early mornings.
A beach day or a neighborhood block party?
Neighborhood block party. Oh my gosh, the last time.
Because I'm from New York, and there's nothing like a block party.
The
Nothing.
last time I went to a block party was in New York on Long Island. This was years ago, and I've been fiending for one for a while. Actually, I'm glad you bring that up because from what I've heard and research that I've done back in the day in New York, they used to have neighborhood block rent parties to help people pay for back rent. And I'm very big on tenants. I'm a tenant myself, and I think we need community things like that happening here in Polk County.
Two more. Flip flops or sneakers?
Flip flops.
Okay. Hurricane prep early or wait until to watch the forecast?
Ooh. I always say I'm going to prep early, and I wind up prepping the day before.
Okay. So I'm going to pass it back to Alice, and she's going to go into public education in schools.
All right. So, of course, most of my family lives in Florida, so I'm sure you are aware that one of the things that Florida lacks is good public schools. Florida tends to have an issue with great public schools. We have a lot of amazing private schools, but Florida kind of lacks in that. Families are concerned about funding being diverted away from public schools. How would you protect that public education and ensure that families are getting that quality option, even if they have to choose a public school?
Yeah, so public school is huge for me. I'm a public school graduate. My kids go to public schools in Polk County, and I am very big on making sure a couple things. I want the PICO program to be fully funded. I want teachers to get paid. We need more resources for our students, Teledoc being one of them. Let's stop the book bans. Also, I mentioned the PICO program, teachers getting paid. And the way we do that is by diverting more funds from the Florida lottery system, which is huge, to these things that it's meant for teacher raises, meant for investing in our public schools, which we lack. Instead of diverting funds over to voucher programs, the obsession with voucher programs here in Florida is what's killing our public schools. I actually spoke to my kids' principal the other day. We have a planned meeting because that was the first. I asked him, what's hurting you guys right now? The voucher program. And I'm pretty sure if I spoke to other principals they'd say the same thing. And as well as our president of the Polk Education Association, her name is Stephanie Yoakum. I talk to her regularly on Facebook. Voucher programs, the private schools, these private entities that are benefiting off of our kids, and not even our kids. A lot of our kids can't go to these schools for X, Y, or Z. So I would put on the table legislation. I would push hard for making sure that our tax dollars are going to funding our public schools fully. And not only for, obviously, for the students and making sure they have the access to resources that they need, but also our teachers. Our teachers, they protect our kids on a daily basis. They teach our kids. They teach them values that sometimes they might not get at home. Also, another part of it is schools, but a part of a school's budget is feeding our kids. Some kids aren't getting food at school, and it's sad. And that's, for a lot of kids, that's the only access to food that they have. So that's aside from, I have a laundry list of things I want to do, but public education is definitely at the top of the list, because our schools need help and our teachers need help.
I agree. So you pretty much answered every other question, but I know what the PICO program is. Can you explain it to us what the PICO program is?
Yeah. So fully funding the PICO program would ensure that every single public school in Florida has no lead in their water, a working air conditioning system with proper ventilation, and making sure our schools are up to code and safe for our kids to attend on a daily basis. And the light went out again. I am so sorry.
Okay, no, you're good. You got a motion sensor. You're good. So the PICO program, I actually read about it months ago when I was kind of researching another candidate in Florida, and I thought, wow, that's something we don't really think about, is that infrastructure of the school system. It's not just yet, it's important. So next questions, I am going to send them over to Rasta. Rasta is going to go over about public safety and immigration. I will probably ask something about immigration. Oh, Sianka, we have a question. Sorry, Sianka. Hi, Miss Sianka.
Hey, how are you? How are you doing?
Good.
Hey, Rasta. Hey, Ronald. Hey, Luis.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, and you. Now, I just came up because you said Long Island. I'm originally from Long Island, Hempstead, and I do miss those block parties. So absolutely, and I totally agree with the public school system of kids going through a lot of hardship more than the parents, and they should not be having the burden, the burdens of the world on their shoulders. And I truly thank you for running, and thank you for being concerned about our kids. And that's just what I wanted to say. So thank you.
Of course, me being, I have a father, or of course I have a father. I am a father. I am a father of two teenage kids, and I see their complaints about school, and it scares me, what's going on currently. And I want to make sure that they have the access to everything that they need. But not only them, every single child in Florida, in the United States, should have access to food, even at school, because again, a lot of times that's their only access to food. They should be able to read books without books being banned. Teachers should be able to teach without such a crazy curriculum these days. And I feel like the federal government has made that extremely difficult, and obviously here the state government that we have in Florida is making it even more difficult with these voucher programs.
And I have another question on top of that. So what do you think about school supplies like books and things of that nature, and also social services for kids, not just one therapist for one school? Like, what do you feel that's needed to have that ample supply for the children?
Yeah, as far as therapists, so part of the legislation that I've been working on and researching does include part of the funds that will be diverted from the Florida lottery system to education would include making sure that we hire more social workers in our schools. And like you've mentioned, one for every school. I want to see at least 3 to 4 social workers in every school in the state of Florida. And that not only creates jobs, but also creates a pathway and an outlet for our students. And there's a big reliance right now on making sure we have sheriff's deputies in schools. I think we need more de-escalators rather than someone potentially that can turn a small problem into something really bigger than it needs to be. And I think social workers are the perfect candidates for that. So more social workers in schools and more services available to our students.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Thank you, ladies and gents. Love you guys.
Thank you for coming up.
All righty. Bye.
All right, so I am gonna move it over to Rasta Ronald. We call him Rasta, but his name is Ronald, so we always get confused. So Ronald, I'm gonna let him go over public safety and immigration. I'm sure as a Venezuelan, I will probably ask you a question afterwards, but we'll let Ronald go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, residents want a safer neighborhood, but also want to prevent crime before it happens. What you support for safety, violence, and community?
Yeah, I think we need community policing programs, and I feel like our law enforcement, whether it's the sheriff's department or the city police, need de-escalation training, serious de-escalation training. We've seen certain instances here in Polk County alone where things have gotten out of hand very quickly. We need also, I don't know if Sheriff Grady Judd is going to hear this or see this. His deputies need to be wearing body cams. They are super against that, and that's one piece of legislation that was in the Senate at one point, but it was dropped. It didn't get past. It didn't get past the committees, and that's something I'll be working with. Hopefully, that senator. He's not a senator at this moment, but I have been talking to him on how we can present this in the House and get it passed. Community policing, community advisory boards as well, and making sure that our police officers and sheriff's departments are getting out into the communities and talking to our neighbors and holding events where they build trust rather than fear.
I definitely agree with that. But so the state of Florida does not require in law enforcement, or is that a
no? Here, that is a Polk County Sheriff's Department thing. They don't wear body cams. Our Winter Haven, I live in Winter Haven, and our Winter Haven Police Department, which actually is not too bad, They wear body cams, and I've talked multiple times with the chief of police of Winter Haven, actually a great guy, and he's more than on board than listening to my ideas and listening to what the communities need, rather than enforcing bully tactics, which I'm super against. But the sheriff's department is huge here in Polk County. I don't know if you ever heard of our sheriff. His name is Grady Judd. He's like a local celebrity, and he's not on board with the body cams, and that needs to change ASAP.
I think it's beneficial not only for them but for the people itself, for the public.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. It holds. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It holds everyone accountable, right? Because it could be that the person that they're pursuing did do something, right? And with that camera, it's proof. Proof is day. Whereas the opposite, if the police officer or the sheriff's deputy is engaging in let's say illicit behavior, we'll have that proof as well, and we make sure that they get out of there, because a person who's harassing our communities shouldn't be wearing a badge.
Okay, and what kind of say for instance to encourage or try to get them to wear these cams? It can be anywhere from incentive, monetary things of that nature if they wear it. What do you think is going to move to start wearing these body cams?
Yeah, I think incentivizing a little bit the sheriff's department here. I mean, they have a very big budget. So I think one of the excuses is they can't afford it, which I do not believe. And he says that it poses a privacy issue in case one of the deputies use the bathroom, things like that. But those are just excuses, in my opinion. And incentivizing the sheriff's department, whether giving them a little bit more of a budget to now them not have an excuse to purchase these body cameras and wear them. As far as the legislation, it'll be clear as day. Like, you're gonna wear it and that's it. I know it sounds authoritarian, right? But they need accountability. There's been so many instances. There's so many stories. If you look up on just Google search Polk County Sheriff's Department issue, or whatever the case, a lot of things have been swept under the rug, and a lot of things have been covered up, in my opinion. I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but there's a lot of evidence stacked against a lot of different deputies who are potentially still wearing badges, and we're supposed to feel safe around our policing personnel.
Do you think we'll get to that in a minute? Law enforcement is often the first to call during a mental health crisis. What would you do to expand mental health crisis and reduce the strain on first responders?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the rest of the question.
Rasta, you sound like you're kind of underwater.
Hold on, let me get my phone.
Yeah, move your phone maybe just a little bit. Go ahead, no worries. I can repeat the question. As he gets set up, let me repeat the question that he just read. So, law enforcement is often the first call during a mental health crisis. What would you do to expand mental health crisis response? I think we've gone over this, of course, reduce strain on police and first responders, because obviously we want training on both sides, right?
Right. Yeah. De-escalation training, and I do think we need to have more social workers working in the area that can potentially not only in schools but just even working with the police department and the sheriff's department, going to these calls and making sure our police personnel are held accountable, but as well as the social worker being there to help the crisis call and help the person in need, and making sure things are not being blown up bigger than they actually are. So that obviously takes investment. Instead of investing in people who already have billions of dollars and giving them tax breaks, we need to be investing in these programs.
I agree with that. Can you hear me better now?
I can, yes.
All right, great. I'm glad to hear. All right, and one more final question in this particular category. Immigrant families is in our community, in your community, often fear
Yes.
assessing services or reporting crimes. What steps would you take to build trust and to keep all families safe?
The first thing that I would do, so as a representative, I represent different towns within my district, Winter Haven being the biggest one. There's a section of Kissimmee that's called Poinciana, that's also in my district, Lake Wales, a bunch of other small little towns. So I would go directly to each city commission, all the city commission members of each town, and I would tell them to sever the agreements that they all signed to work with. To work. Can we say ICE? Is that TikTok friendly language? Okay. I would entice them to sever these agreements because these max people are going out here harassing our communities. Like we literally just saw what happened in Minnesota a couple of days ago. And that was an American citizen. So imagine what they're doing to people who they deem are undocumented migrants. I would go to the commission members. We're going to sever these agreements. I don't care what the governor has to say about it. It's just not right.
Now, would you have the authority to do that, or are you basically making a suggestion?
Influence. I'd influence heavily. But I would also propose legislation for every single municipality to sever these agreements.
Okay, great. Does anybody have a question in regards to public safety and immigration? If you would like to come up and ask a question, please do so. Don't be scared.
I have a quick question. Mine's just kind of very broad. What do you feel that should be done in your community or in your district to show that you are protecting these immigrants, whether they're documented or not? Because at this point, it's kind of all of us that are kind of concerned. I'm Venezuelan.
Yeah.
And I've lived here for 30 years, so my process is a little bit different. But people are really scared right now. What do you see in your community that may help?
Yeah. So I think it's me. I've personally gone out and I already have encounters with undocumented migrants that have actually reached out to me personally because they're worried. This is a crazy story that came up a few weeks ago now. A pastor in a local church here in Winter Haven reached out to me. He's actually Cliff Dollison. He is one of the city commission members of Winter Haven. And we've had a great relationship for the past year or so. And he reached out to me. There was a minor, undocumented. Her parents were here undocumented. Her father had kicked her out because she got pregnant. She's very young. She's only 14. So I got connected with an organization in our area called GLAM in Lake Wales, and they were able to assist her. Thankfully, immigration was contacted, and they are not pursuing her because they're considering her she's a minor and also a victim of everything that's happening. Right. So I think just people, I guess what I want to say, instead of talking about it, let's take action. Let's connect our brothers, our neighbors and sisters who are just here trying to make a better lives for themselves with organizations like GLAM and, a lobby for a clear pathway to citizenship for people that have been here for over 30 years paying taxes and who, by the way, do not benefit from our federal benefits. I agree. That would be my advice, is that we attack it head on, get involved. Let's stop talking about it online and let's get out there and put our feet to the pavement.
I like that response. All righty. Anybody have any questions? Anybody, any questions?
And by the way, GLAM was able to help this young lady get food, products for her baby, feminine hygienic products. They stepped in, and now they placed her in a home and they're working with her. And she might have to self-deport. I'm not sure. I would have to follow up with the pastor on how her story. But she's safe. Yeah. She's safe.
That's awesome. So it's called GLAM, GLAM.
Yeah. You could Google Glam Lake Alfred, Florida.
Okay. I love those kind of organizations.
Yeah, I'm very big on nonprofits because they do amazing work throughout the state of Florida, and part of my agenda is making sure we nonprofits have access to these funds that they need in order to do the work for Floridians.
I worked for a long time for Catholic Charities. I did do the refugee resettlement program, and the reason I lost my job was because our funds were cut by this administration. So I think
What's happening?
I agree. I think these organizations. All right. So I was supposed to do, I had fun questions for you, and then all my political rapid fire questions, you've literally answered them all, except maybe a couple of them. So I'm going to mix it up and do a couple of serious questions, and then we can do a couple of fun questions. So, because you pretty much answered all of them. So, what is the first bill you would file in when you are elected? What is the first thing on your agenda?
First thing on my agenda. I know families are facing extreme issues with property insurance. It's huge in Florida, so that's one of the first things that I will be. There's multiple bills. As a representative, if I'm not mistaken, we can only file 7 bills per session. So one that would attack insurance is making sure that insurance companies are not price optimizing our homeowners here in the state of Florida. This one's a little bit radical. I don't think elected officials should be accepting money from insurance companies, utility companies, and that would be another bill that I would put on the table. No more money from these huge corporations because they have a vested interest in making sure Floridians are struggling. And I mean, me personally, I wouldn't take money from them for donations to the campaign. As you know, corporations, utility companies, Tico, Florida Power and Light, all these huge corporations that have a monopoly on Floridians. That's one big one that I want to put on the table because money, I feel like, corrupts politicians, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, and it's going to lead the politicians to represent those corporations and not the best interest of the constituents.
Alrighty, and then one Florida law that you would repeal immediately.
Senate Bill 256, the collective bargaining and the union, the anti-union unionization.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got a couple of fun ones. Let's do this one real quick. What song represents your campaign? If you can name one song.
Oh my gosh. So I listen to salsa a lot. I don't know if any of our viewers listen to salsa. It's a song by an old salsero, Peter Conde Rodriguez. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. It's called there's a couple songs, but this one is geared toward like the Latino community. It's called Pueblo Latino, and how we need to unite, and there's strength in numbers. And I heard it. I had never heard it in my life. It popped up on my playlist. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect when I'm reaching out to the Latino community and the importance of us uniting and getting a seat at the table, especially here in Polk County.
Alrighty, so you are now a Florida man. So what is your sports team? If you want to go pro or you want to go college?
Honestly,
let's see if you break my heart or not. Let's see if you break my heart.
I am still a Patriots fan.
There you go. Next.
I'm still a Patriots fan, and I'm still a Red Sox fan.
Okay. And then what is one thing that voters would be surprised to learn about you?
I guess one thing they'd be surprised is actually I'm very into music. I play guitar. I have been playing for years, as well as the Puerto Rican cuatro.
Wow, cool. Awesome. All righty.
Yeah.
So I am going to let go ahead and ask you to let more questions, Rasta, from the local issues and constituent focus. If anybody has any questions, please make sure to ask us. We are going to, we have somebody in the queue. Hold on. All righty. Let's see who's in the queue. Oh, there we go. Hey, Butter. Miss
Hi,
May.
everyone. How are you doing tonight, Luis?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. So I came up to be just a
Awesome.
little, I guess, controversial. There is a big
No worries.
movement,
That
a big movement and a push for Black and Brown unity. So I want
yes.
to get your thoughts on that, and how do you think we can accomplish it?
I love that you bring this up. Actually, I was on a live a few months ago, which thanks to this person, he is leading the charge on TikTok when it comes to Black and Brown unity. If you haven't looked him up, look him up. His name is Casso.
Duh.
Cassa.
Boy. Well, we
Okay.
know all about Casa. We're in there
Okay.
all the time. Casa knows
This
us too.
this
I'm
question
sure.
was
Okay.
definitely inspired by him. So
Okay. Awesome. I
Definitely.
love that. I love that. Because of that live, I was able to raise my filing fee. He put me, I mean, they asked me tough questions, right? But you got to get through the tough questions in order to get your message out there. But when it comes to Black and Brown unity, we really just need to come together, sit down, literally physically somewhere, and let's talk about the issues. I'm very face to face. I like to have conversations with people in person. And, I do a lot of door knocking in my Black and Brown communities, and I talk to people. I want to know I know what the issues are, but I want to hear it from them. And I think if we all came together collectively and put our voices out there and we lobby for things that are going to benefit us, we make sure people are getting registered to vote, and we make sure people know how their elected officials are voting and who's sending them money. I think it's just a union that we need. And the way we do that is by literally just getting together, talking to each other, learning each other's cultures, trying each other's, there's different languages we can be learning, and enshrining in that sense of community. And that's something we lack for the longest time. I grew up in a very culturally diverse town. So when I moved here to Florida, I see the separation, and I think that's by design, by people who are already at top, who are already in power, because they want us separate, right? And they don't want us talking to each other. They just like to scapegoat and blame our problems on other people, when in reality, we just need to get together. And I think we do that by literally communicating with each other.
absolutely. Well, I also want to send a big shout out to Puerto Rico, as my kid's grandfather is from Ponce. So
Nice.
it is also
Los
one of my favorite
Leones.
places I had visited. So thank you. Good luck. Please help get DeSantis out there so I can come back to Florida. All right. Thank you.
No, we're working on it. We are working it. I promise you, we're working on it.
All right. Y'all have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Miss Buttermilk.
You too. Thank you.
What happened? How did we miss Lewis's live on Casso? We're all.
I don't know. I missed that.
It was a
day,
little.
yeah.
It was a little while ago, and when I told them, like, I thought I had it all figured out. I knew what I'm talking about, right? But I like to learn. Like, I'm literally reading a book on economics right now, the most boring subject in the world. And they asked me tough questions. I'm sure you guys have probably seen Marla on his lives. Ooh, she dug into me, but I appreciated it because I needed that wake up call, right? One of her biggest things is, what have you done for the community? And in all honesty, I couldn't answer straight up, because that's why I bring up, we talk about problems and we virtue signal, but we don't get out there and do anything. That's why I've been so invested in making sure, even if it's a small event, to feed people. We literally had one for Thanksgiving. We didn't do anything for Thanksgiving. Me and my family, we were in our living room talking about, what are we going to do for Thanksgiving? My wife brought it up, and I said, let's feed the community. Let's get together with a bunch of donations from different people. We had so much food, and we fed so many families, and little things like that. It doesn't sound grandioso. It doesn't sound like we're building a ballroom in the middle of Polk County, but we are helping people.
We don't.
Right.
We don't need ballrooms.
Exactly. We're helping people, and we're feeding people, and we're making sure people are educated on how our elected officials are voting and what they're voting for and what that's where I take advantage, right? When I do community events like that, I try not to make it political, but I try to ask them questions on how their everyday life and how certain legislation is affecting them. And right there is where we get together and we talk about it. And you wind up finding a lot of common ground, even with people on the other side of the aisle. I've gotten support from people on the other side of the aisle because I have a populist message.
Right.
You know?
Rasta.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we're going to ask the last two questions of the evening. But before we do that, I want to do something for you.
Kroger encuentra.
Hold on one second. May you walk out with this and win with it as well.
That's it right there.
But before we go on, District 48 is seniors, immigrants, renters, and small business owners with different needs.
Mm-hmm.
How will you regularly listen to them and reflect their concerns in Tallahassee?
Yeah. So again, I'm very boots on the ground. I'm not. I try to get past bureaucracy and emails and phone calls. I love knocking on doors. I love going to the small business owners, seeing what their needs are, and people who are aspiring to be small business owners. I have a plan for them, and just I'm a face-to-face kind of person. I want to talk to the people directly. What are your concerns? What do you need? How is this helping you? How is this not helping you? And it literally just starts knocking on those doors and talking to people and voicing those concerns in Tallahassee. I do post a lot on social media. I do share a lot of things, but there's action behind it. Behind the scenes, I'm working on other things. I'm working on talking to organizations on how we can help people, how we can amplify what they need in Tallahassee, like those nonprofit organizations. Currently, I'm working on setting up a renters union here in Polk County because we don't have one. I think there's one in Hillsborough County, and I've been talking with the president on how we can implement that here in Polk County to protect our renters, because our renters are getting priced out. One piece of legislation that I want to do is increase the 3-day notice period to 10 or 15 days to give that person more time to come up with funds or seek the help of a nonprofit organization that can help them with back rent, and that comes with investment on both ends. So I think just going to the people, going directly to the source, the root cause of the issues, and talking to our constituents is where it starts.
Definitely, I totally agree with that. And my last question of the evening is for you. It's for us as well. And it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being on.
Yes. For voters who are undecided, what is one reason you believe you are the right person to represent District 48 in the Florida House?
Of course. I know voters that are undecided. I've heard this from from multiple voters, is my experience. What experience do I have? I don't think to serve the public you need experience. I think, or at least political experience. What you need is life experience. I'm not embarrassed to say that I've seen that eviction notice on my door and how it scares me, and how it scares where my kids can end up if that rent doesn't get paid for reasons X, Y, or Z, right? I have lived an experience that's very relevant to most people, to a lot of people in my county. So I understand their woes, I understand their concerns, and I think that's what we need, people with life experiences who have the constituents' best interests at heart, and getting rid of the public interest groups, or special interest groups, which I have no interest in working with. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I think my policies that I want to bring to Tallahassee will help everybody,
Definitely.
not just the special interest groups, which I will not be working with.
Thank you so much, Lewis. At this time, I'm going to switch it over to Alice, who's going to close us
Thank you.
out. I appreciate you talking to you. I wish you the best of luck. The only thing I
Thank
have
you.
to
I
say,
appreciate you.
late on time is late. Late is definitely
I'm so
not on
sorry.
time. No, I'm just teasing.
All righty. So thank you for that. Now, Luis, tell us where our vote. Well, actually, before we do that, is there anyone that wants to come up and ask any questions? Anyone? Are you guys have any questions in the chat? Well, I do want to thank you. I think you are a fresh breath of fresh air. I didn't get it right. I did want to ask. I could not find Mr. Luis. How old are you?
I am 34.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure, because you are one of, we need more young people, and that's why I always like to ask. And there is nowhere I could find your age, so I had to ask.
That's my fault. That's my fault.
No,
I'm
that's
34.
okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I think it's great. So I want to thank you for being here. We are glad that you came and shared with us today. Please tell everybody listening where we can find you, where we can donate, where we can volunteer, where are you at?
Yes. So you can see my website. I don't know if there it is. luisdavilaforflhouse.com is where you can go to learn a little bit more about me, learn a little bit more about my background. There's some more details in there. You can choose to donate. And as far as volunteering, if there's anybody on the live right now that's in my area, I am looking for volunteers. I currently have a team of 5 right now, and we're going to start hitting the doors aggressively. I've been hitting doors throughout since I filed, but we're going to start hitting doors aggressively in the coming weeks. And we're setting up those campaigns right now. We got text banking going on. We got phone banking going on, and really excited for it. And again, it's luisdavilaforflhouse.com.
What about your socials?
It's pretty much the same. They're all on my website. I have them linked to my socials. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, obviously TikTok, and I have a plethora of videos that I've already uploaded. I'm gonna be uploading very soon. I just haven't had the time to sit down and edit it and making sure it's good on different topics.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I did want, again, thank you so much, but don't go anywhere real quite yet. I do want to let everybody know and to invite you. We are having another town hall tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow's town hall is with Mr. Ian Calderon. I don't know much about him. I actually haven't done much research, but he will be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Ian Calderon, he's actually running for governor in California. He's one of them. It seems California, everybody wants to be governor right now. So
Yeah.
we've had a couple. So please join us tomorrow. We also have round tables every other Sunday, which you will receive information on, which we would love to have you sit down with us. Our next one is on the January 18th, and it's really cool setup. We actually invite all bunch of representatives, senators, governors, candidates that have been with us before. We sit them down and we ask them questions and we hammer questions, and you guys can reflect off of each other. So please join us. Alrighty. So thank you, Mr. Davila, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
I love it.
And as we close out, yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you, both of you, for having me on, and please excuse my tardiness. I am so sorry. I felt so bad. I was trying to hurry up and get here. I don't have an office at home.
That's okay. Tell everyone when does voting start for you?
Well, the election's on 11/3/2026, November 3rd. I don't have a primary just yet. No other person has jumped in the race on the Democratic side. As of right now, November 3rd, 2026.
Great. All righty. So I just go ahead.
I'm sorry. One last thing. If there are any NPA voters that lean on the, let's say, left, or who are progressive, please, we need you out that day in Florida, because NPAs are who are going to vote in our next governor, because the other side they have their numbers are exponentially higher than our side. So we need those NPA voters to please come out. We need you guys that day on November 3rd, 2026. Please don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to scream at the top of the mountain and be proud of your vote.
Yeah. And those who need a ride, call us to get a ride. Those
Yes.
who need to go walking, we will take the umbrella and walk with you. Alrighty, thank you so much, Mr. Davila, and we wish you all the best. Please keep in touch with us. Let us know how it goes.
Oh,
I'm sure we'll check
100%.
with you. I know that day we are going to try to have a voting party to see if who we have been supporting throughout the process actually get in. So just a reminder, everyone, on who we are. Our Vote Counts is a nonpartisan movement uniting Americans from all walks of life to empower voters, support candidates of integrity, and ensure every voice is heard. Through our education, outreach, accountability, and action, we are building a stronger democracy, one informed vote at a time. So join us, because your vote is always your power. So thank you, Mr. Davila. Thank you, Ron,
guys.
for being with us. Thank you, Our Vote Counts, for hosting tonight. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy your night.
Good night.
You guys take care now. Be safe.